Happy Monday! A huge victory for Mable Elmore once again as she remains in her seat as a member of the Legislative Assembly during the last BC Provincial Election. Despite the big, unexpected victory of the Liberal Party, new Democratic Party candidate Mable Elmore's contribution and sincerity won the hearts of the Vancouver-Kensington residents. We visited Mable at her office. Take a look.
Her name in the community, Mighty Mable, is certainly a very apt description of Mable.
She's got a good analysis of a situation and she moves into it and deals with it very creatively.
And I was always totally impressed with her incredible energy. People have come to rely on her to not only speak up for them and work with them, but to actually follow through, to actually get things done.
It's really important that we re-elect Mable, and that's your responsibility here, folks.
Vancouver-Kensington, get down, Vancouver-Kensington,
Hi Mable, it's a beautiful day here in Kensington. Congratulations to you.
Thank you so much, Luisa. It's great to have you here in my office, and I'm so happy to be reelected to my second term.
You have a lot of supporters and people who believed in you. What can you say to them?
Well, first of all, from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank you for your support. It just means the world to me, and it's also very humbling to have the support of so many people, the well wishes, and many people getting involved in my campaign, and of course being entrusted again, and all the constituents voting to re-elect me as the second term MLA here for Vancouver-Kensington. So it's a great honor.
Was there any doubt that you would win this election?
Well, I think you can't take anything for granted. That's my outlook, and that's how I campaigned. That was my message to my campaign team. We have to work hard, and I worked hard over the 28 days, and my campaign team worked hard to earn the trust of voters, and I'm very fortunate to be re-elected with a larger margin than 2009. So it's a great privilege to be again representing Vancouver-Kensington as the MLA.
Well, you and I know that there's a growing number of Filipino-Canadians participating in politics. So is there any big change in your life as a Filipino-Canadian engaging in politics, and what is this change?
Well, I think the big change now is it was such an honor to be elected as the first MLA of Filipino heritage, and again to be successfully re-elected. I'm still the only MLA in the provincial government. It's a great honor. I have a lot more experience now, those 4 years, so I have a lot that I want to accomplish, and hoping to play a role to support the community. I really want to see more growth and participation and leadership emerge from the community, so I have a lot of hopes for the future.
So we wanted to send a positive message to the Filipino community, and also show a very positive message to the Canadian society that the Filipino community embraces our diversity.
So how did you find time to relax after the election?
Well, I still haven't taken any time off. We got back here to the office and doing more casework, and so we're busy with that. And of course, we're heading into all the events and festivities with Philippine Independence Day. So it's one of the busiest times of the year.
So where are you going?
I think I'm going to all of the events that I can make it to in the metro, in the Lower Mainland. I've been invited to Cranbrook, and there are other activities and events going on. I wish I could make it, but I just can't be in two places at once.
With the onslaught of troubles that the overseas Filipino workers are facing as we speak, what needs to change in the Canadian employment standard for overseas workers to ensure their protection and safety?
Well, that's a great question, Luisa, and we're seeing an increasing number of temporary foreign workers come to Canada and BC, over 70,000. And I've heard in my office that there's a real need for services. So I think the BC government needs to ensure that these workers are protected and that the employment standards are enforced. and that these workers, if they need help, that there are places where they can go to get assistance. So I think that's the first order of the day here in British Columbia. And I think also the British Columbia government needs to advocate on behalf of these workers and really express to the Canadian government, not only to ensure that they're protected, but also that these workers coming in have an opportunity to apply for landed residency. I think this is one of the big issues that contribute to their difficult circumstances. So there's a lot of work to be done, and I think a lot of improvements we can make here in British Columbia and also Canada. And the community is going to play a big role in terms of coming together, being united, speaking with one voice on behalf of supporting our fellow Kababayan when they're in need.
So what can you say to this caregiver, Leticia Sarmiento, who finally is stepping out to tell her story to the entire world of what happened to her?
Well, I think, first of all, she has to be commended for her courage. It's so difficult. She was experienced human trafficking. And I think the other part is also to support organizations such as West Coast Domestic Workers who are helping her in her situation. And we really need to ensure that there are support organizations to help other women or men who may be in that situation. So that's I think certainly a signal that we have to do more. And there's also a role for individuals to play in the community leaders, that, to reach out, to welcome newcomers, to, make friends, to strike up a conversation and ask how they're doing and do they need help. So I know that there's that concern, and that we can take that extra step to ensure that all Kababayans are treated fairly, I think, and how people should be treated with basic dignity and respect.
And lastly, Mable, the last time I was here in your office when I visited you, we talked about moving on to unity, right? So now in the community, so what do you think is your best advice to have? A lot of people said, oh, Luisa, come on, just forget about your moving on to unity. That's not going to happen in our community. So what do you think of all this?
Well, that's also my very deep aspiration and hope for the community, that, and that's my words of encouragement, particularly for this when we celebrate Philippine Independence Day. I think Philippine Independence Day is very symbolic of unity and the community coming together and having that pride. And my message is that we can also extend that unity for the community to come together and also speak out on issues that are important to the community. We can speak out with one voice. Doesn't matter if you're from different regions or even different political parties or different interests. If we're speaking on one voice to advocate and protect for temporary foreign workers, for contract workers, we need to ensure support for families who are immigrating here, to improve the recognition of foreign credentials. I think if the community comes together, we speak out and advocate on those issues, I think we can move forward and the community can have a stronger role and play a more important role in Canadian society.
Well, thank you so much. To have another 4 wonderful years of being MLA here in Kensington.
Well, thank you so much, Luisa. It's just been the greatest pleasure. I've enjoyed it so much being MLA and getting to know you and also the community and being of service to the community. So I look forward to continuing the work, working hard, and ensuring that we create more opportunities for everyone in the future. So I'd like to invite you, Luisa, and of course everyone and all my supporters and volunteers who helped in my re-election campaign. I'm going to be having a volunteer appreciation barbecue, so we're just waiting on confirmation of the venue, and the details will be coming out on Twitter, email, and on Facebook, so keep tuned for that. And of course people can contact me for more information, but I'd like to extend that invitation and look forward to celebrating and thanking everybody.
Thank you, Mable. Wonderful.